podcast. This week is my week because I'm the best. And I'm really fucking excited. I don't know about y'all. A lot of people on the internet are being shitty because Robert Pattinson has been chosen as the new Batman. And I'm so excited.
I'm excited about it,
I'm
too.
so excited.
I'm not going to lie.
And the reason that I wanted to do this is because people are shitting on Robert Pattinson already because, haha, Twilight was bad. As much as I love Twilight, it was a garbage film. I mean, shit.
They weren't the worst thing ever.
Oh, God. Okay, no. The first one and the very last one were good. The rest of them are
to be fair, the
cringe,
source material.
cringe. Hey, the books are good. Get out of here.
Are they?
You did not read them. Y'all gave up. What we're not going to do is shit on Twilight on my fucking podcast.
We're not talking about Twilight.
We're not talking
today.
about Twilight. The whole reason that I wanted
Robert
to talk about
Pattinson.
this is because Robert Pattinson is worth so much more than everyone on the internet is doing. So I want to talk about Water for Elephants because it's a really good movie, and it's one of the only good instances where I can say that I like a movie better than the book.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often because the movie. You can't get everything that's in a book.
Most of the time,
obviously.
books there's more nuance, there's more character development, there's you can get into people's heads
Speaking
better.
of books, can we bring up how Robert Pattinson was in Harry Potter Part 4?
Robert Pattinson as an actor
is so good.
Very good. He's work
so
in
good.
Belle fucking me.
That part where he throws her to the fucking ground, he's terrifying. His face has nothing but anger.
I mean,
he's
that's
so
like
scary.
Edward.
He's okay. I really like Robert Pattinson. I think he is.
He was towing me to the car.
He's amazingly talented. I have seen him do, and okay, here's the thing, okay? Given that Twilight was the source material, he did amazing.
He didn't like Twilight.
That's the best part.
He didn't like anything about it.
The best part is that every interview with him being like, tell me, what's your favorite movie with this genre? And he would just be like...
Right, yeah. He had no love.
Robert
and
Pattinson.
He fully was like, Edward's a fucking serial killer, and yet she just accepts him because I understand that it's bad. You can't tell my heart no. I understand that Twilight is not the greatest.
I understand the flaws. Twilight is not the worst thing ever. I think that it gets a lot of hate just because it's kind of
Kristen
fashionable
Stewart,
to hate things. Well,
it's not fully her fault. It's everything.
It's a
the
combination
fact that Bella
of
doesn't have a fucking
a perfect
character.
storm of shit.
She's the main person, and yet that whole scene where I watched it again recently because I was like, okay, this cannot be that, because I only saw it in the movie theaters and I remember being like, Edward, and that was it. So I watched it again. That scene where she's coming down the aisle, she's a socially awkward person. She's supposed to be uncomfortable. She looked like she was walking to be set on fire. She did not look like a beautiful bride. And then she sees him and she's like, and I'm like, is that the face that she makes when she sees the person?
I'll tell you what we're not going to do.
I'm sorry.
Is shit on Twilight the whole time.
Okay, I am allowed to shit on Twilight because I love it so. You have never, ever liked it. It gets under my skin when you bitch about it because you don't know what you're talking about. So I don't appreciate it.
I tried to read the book 5 times.
No, you didn't?
Well,
I did. I took it as the only book when we drove all the way to Missouri.
All right.
Anyway, okay, so Water for Elephants.
Water for Elephants.
Fuck it. I'm not going to get on a tangent about Twilight.
Okay.
I can't.
I really like Water for Elephants because, first off, the production values are amazing. The visuals are just really nice.
And also there's elephants.
And, yes. Well, okay.
And that elephant was the same elephant they used in Britney Spears' video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The actors
movie has
that they
water
chose.
and it has
All right.
elephants.
I'm just going to list off names real quick. Because
Christoph
these
Waltz.
fucking people... Christoph
Christoph
Waltz,
Waltz is
Robert
spectacular.
Pattinson, Reese Witherspoon, fucking...
James...
Hal Holbrook.
Frayne. Yeah.
Hal
Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook.
Yeah. Oh my god. So...
Remember when he was in the sequel to Fletch?
I do. He was
Oh,
the bad
Fletch
guy.
Lives.
Fletch Lives.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen Fletch Lives by now, what are you doing with your life?
It's really not good, you guys. What do you mean?
Rude.
It's not good.
So good.
All right. So yeah. So
Anyway.
the thing that I like that the book doesn't do quite as well. I read the book too. No.
I didn't like
I
it.
really like in the movie how Hal Holbrook is the framing device. He's at the beginning, and then he tells the flashback story, and then he's at the end, and he wraps it all together.
Right.
In the book, they use how
they keep
how
cutting the
character-
story by
they
bringing
chop
him
it
back.
and forth. They're like, and this is something that happened back in the day, and now we're back here, and this is something, and then now
So
we're back here.
it's about how Holbrook being in in the book. I mean, it's about this old man being in a nursing home, and then he's remembering his past.
days in the circus.
And so every couple chapters or so, he'll wake up and do something sad in the nursing home, and then go back to the story. And in the movie, it was nice that they just used him at the beginning and the end, where they should have.
Well, it kept
instead
the story.
Of just,
I didn't have to keep reframing my own stream of thought.
Right, but do you think
yeah.
it was a commentary about modern day people having to live in nursing homes and like wanting to experience the difference between
there was
my life then and my life now?
Right, yeah.
And,
I mean, there was purpose.
Just because there's
it was
purpose in
supposed
it
to
doesn't
make
mean
you sad because he's there alone. And he talks about his children not wanting to come and visit him. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to go through stuff like that. And so it's a really good like narrative that it gives you, but the way that it just like kept coming up. Was annoying, and I liked how they did in the movie where
the
it was just kind of
it flows a little bit better the way they chopped it in the movie.
Well, because the story in the past is more important than the story in the present. So
right,
right, because there's nothing happening. He's just waiting to die.
Well,
basically.
honestly, like I don't know if you guys have seen The Longest Ride, but it's Nicholas Sparks first off, so we know where it's going to go. But here's the thing: every time they come back,
I'll tell you what we're not going to do.
Just real quick, in the longest ride. Every time they come back to the modern story, I know it's Scott Eastwood. I know what he looks like. I appreciate it. I don't give a fuck. Put me back in the past. Tell me the story of these two Jewish people during World War II. I want to know this love story. I'm invested over here. And they keep hopping back and forth because the old guy in the modern time is telling the story of back then. And I'm kind of like, but I want to be back then. Right. I want to know that story.
And the same, Nicholas Sparks in the Notebook, at least you have the two different stories, you know.
It's kind of, it's different. It's
romantic because you find out he's the one reading to her about their life. That is good. But when it's in this movie, in this book, it's just him being sad and alone, and his nurse has the same name as the elephant, and so that's making him sad, and it's very nostalgic in a very sad way. You know, and it's just kind of a bummer every couple chapters or so. It's just kind of like, oh, and I'm rotting away and my family hates me.
In the movie, Hal Holbrook, he busted out of the old folks' home and he went back to the circus, and he's like, this is home. This is where I always had my home, and this is where I'd like to die, basically. And he runs away to the circus again, basically, and.
But can we talk about that for a quick second? My major problem with this entire story
the origin
starts in the very beginning of the movie. If I were somebody that was on my way to take my test to be the finalized test so that I could be a practicing veterinarian, and I'm like in the room, pen in hand, let's do this shit, and someone stops me and tells me, by the way, both of your parents just died. Let's go deal with that trauma right now. Let's not let you take your test first. Let's do this now. I would really have preferred to just let me take the test.
I don't know why they did that. They pulled him out of the test.
It's because it's supposed to be a tragedy. The mark of a tragedy is that I could have stopped it.
But realistically, why would they do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the one problem I really
He's in the middle of something kind of important.
Mr. Kitty, speaking of animals.
Because it would be much the same thing. He could take the test, pass the test,
and then not even
want to not to go.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been the same outcome.
Mm-hmm. But it's more dramatic to be like,
wouldn't have had the conflict of I don't have the legitimate paperwork to be a practicing veterinarian, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That is. But he gets to be the veterinarian at a circus because he runs away to the circus, where he falls in love with Reese Witherspoon and saves her from an abusive marriage. It's nice.
Yes, because August is
August is a nightmare.
Awful. I mean, he's like scary.
He can be very charming, but he's also very...
Well, that's why he's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves him, and then whenever he switches, he's like a completely different person.
He's not 1,000% as good as Hans Landa. Like, Christoph Waltz's Hans Landa definitely has that charm on the one hand, and then the murderous psychopath on the other. So, Christoph Waltz is an amazing actor and can do this really well. August is kind of like Hans Landa like.
And that's a good thing that I liked in the movie better was that in the book they had this guy named like Crazy Al or something, and that was like the main person.
Hello.
He was the main person that was in charge of the circus. So in the book it was kind of confusing as to what Christoph Waltz's character was, because he was in charge, but he wasn't.
There, he's gone.
He's tickling me.
He's gone.
I'm ticklish. Anyway. You know, and so in the book they kind of just negated that character and just made Kristoff the big main bad guy because that's who he was.
And I'm okay with that. It really works. You have he runs the circus, he owns the circus, he is the ringmaster.
He is the circus.
He is the circus. He has that whole self-importance to him, that very egotistical megalomania, you know?
And in the book, it just didn't quite make sense to me as to who, like, where's his place? Like, who is he? You know what I mean? Because was he just, like, an assistant or, like, what? You know what I mean? I never really got it. So I like that in the movie they kind of took out that character and just made him the main person.
Yeah. It solidifies it. It makes it a little cleaner, a little
right. And then in the book, there's like unnecessary sex scenes.
There are. We don't need that.
We just don't need. Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be a prude, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's not that I don't mind like sex scenes. Like I do like sex scenes if they're for a purpose. They have to
be done right. That's the thing.
Right. If it's just for whatever. And you're just making me read it. It has nothing to, if you just cut it out and it would not change the story, what the fuck is it there for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And in the movie, they just cut it out because it's dumb.
In the movie, the only thing that really matters is that Robert Pattinson is in love with Reese Witherspoon. This is the important thing. It's very much he's in love with her, that is the goal. Whereas in the book, it's like, well, if he just has sex left and right, who the fuck cares? You know, and that's the thing. It's a different... it's a different goal. It's a different motive. You know, it's
well, again, it's writing versus movie.
Right.
It's keeping people's interest in a book versus keeping people's interest in a movie, and
which, quite frankly, the slow burn long pine. Like, I'm 1,000% for that. Okay.
Slow burn long pine.
Okay. When
he's in it for the long.
When I love the longing,
the long con. You know,
I love the slow burn where they start out. And they can't quite get there, and it's very much they will get there eventually, but you gotta get to it, you gotta take your time, you gotta, and then if they're mutual pining, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, she really loves her mutual pining, Daphne. I don't know if you've experienced this. How many times has Jeanette watched Jane Eyre?
Yes.
How many versions of Jane Eyre?
Yes, Jane Eyre.
Has Jeanette watched?
They love each other, but they can't be with each other.
That's why I didn't want to read Pride and Prejudice as a kid, because you did that right there.
I just really, okay, I would not like it if they did not end up together at the end. I would hate the fuck out of this trope if they
didn't. Heathcliff?
I'm okay. I am okay with
Mom's gonna be mad at you about
that one. I am okay.
Wuthering Heights.
Give me
the other
give me
Bronte
the pining,
sister.
give me the longing, give me the just that real I need this and I can't have it feeling.
Right.
But if you give me that and it ends up where you don't get that, what the fuck was I doing this for? I'm okay with the long pine. I'm 1,000% on
as
board
long
with
as
this,
it has a conclusion.
You end with them together.
But real life doesn't have
I don't give a fuck. This is a movie. I don't go to a movie for real life. I go to a movie.
I go to movies to escape like he did with that elephant, okay?
I'm just saying that if you're gonna make a thing where they want each other, they don't admit it, you need to let them get together.
You're demanding a happy ending, and it's just like, you know what?
If you set it up, this is what I'm expecting.
Okay, well, that's also why we fucking hate that movie, Atonement.
Yes.
I hate that movie. I have never hated a movie like that much before.
I have. Well.
Get out of here. Get out of here. That movie's fucking awful. But the whole thing about, like, this is, like, they both like each other, but she's with August, and he's so abusive that she can't get away.
She's married to him. He beats her.
And it was in the 20s as well.
And it's yes. There's very much I'm kind of trapped in this thing, but she really likes Robert Pattinson's character because first off,
and also
he is handsome,
that's both of
but
their
he's
jobs.
also nice.
So
he's
how
also
are they going
kind
to leave?
Yeah, how can you escape the situation
when they're literally living on a train? You know what I mean? How can you get rid of that without?
And they try to run away. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
he finds her magically.
Well, I mean,
I forget exactly. Like
they ran to the hotel, and then they stayed in the hotel, and then he realized, okay, this is the only town nearby, so it must be here. This is the only hotel, so they must be here.
You couldn't go anywhere else.
Like
you couldn't go further.
Well, they didn't. They were tired. They decided to stop.
Did they jump off a train?
They did jump off a train. Yes, they did.
Well, that's the whole thing in the book. They made that. It's a lot scarier in the book, I think, than it was in the movies. That if they just don't if they don't have the money for you or whatever, and they just want to fire you, they won't fire you. They'll just fucking throw you off the train while it's moving, and if you die, then fuck you. And in the book, I feel like it was scarier in the book than it was in the movie. Because there were more scenes of, I'm about to get thrown off the fucking train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah. Because August is that kind of guy. August is very much, I'll do what I have to do to keep this business.
Just money.
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. He has his own set of code, but his code is very self-serving. Right. And as long as he follows his own self-serving code,
he doesn't even care about the animals.
Yeah, who cares?
Because there's a scene, I can't remember if
Yeah.
they do it in the movie, but in the book there was this scene where he goes out and starts just slaughtering horses to feed. Is it where he's feeding the lions and everything?
The only part where they did that in the movie, to my remembrance, is the time where the horse had the messed up. But well, I have to say,
no, that's different. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's the only one I can remember is the part where the horse had the messed up foot, and he shot the horse to get rid of it, and then he was like, "Well, just feed the lions with that horse." And that's the only time I can remember them doing that in the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't think they did that in the movie.
Well, in the book, he had like 3 horses.
That big part of the story.
Well, he's feeding him rotting meat.
Yeah.
He's feeding him nasty, like unethical meat.
Yeah.
You know, he's not paying his workers. He's not taking care of anybody. And like, the further along the book you go, the worse he gets because the more you discover about how he's treating everything. Not only his workers, but the people, everything, the customers, everything.
Yeah. It's a dangerous, bad industry, and they do deal with that.
Right.
And
then there's the whole scene where he's like beating the horse. He's beating, the elephant, Rosie.
Yeah.
Just something great that I just saw. Not to distract into real life, but something great I just saw. A German circus is using holographic
animals
imagery so they can cut down on the animal abuse.
Well,
go Germany for helping with the elephants.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't go to the circus for the animals. I don't go for the animals. I go for the trapeze artists.
Well, it's just the more you learn about animals, though, like the more people are like, "Ooh, the elephant can paint things." That's because you kept the elephant there and stabbed it until it did what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, if you really think about it, half the time, that's what's happening.
Well, like, you see those videos of the dogs walking, and they're wearing
walking
outfits. They've been beaten to do that.
Right.
Like, they're not doing that because they wanted to do that.
I mean, like, there's some things where you can train them nicely. You can train them with treats, but, like, there's also a really, you know what I mean? And that's the part about this movie that's really, really hard. Yeah. That you realize that none of those animals are well taken care of. In the book. Yeah. Not that the movie was like mean to them, but like.
Well, the movie was mean to them. You do see the one guy, he's stabbing the elephant trying to make it do the thing.
But at least Robert Pattinson's character wasn't doing that. Robert Pattinson's character learned to shout at the elephant in Polish. Was it Polish?
It was Polish.
Mm-hmm. And so therefore he knows how to train that. So he's training the horses and the elephants and the other creatures. He's training them the right way, and that's another contrast between him and the Christoph Waltz character.
Right. Robert Pattinson is willing to do the work. He's willing to, it might take longer, but this is the right way to do it. And August is just like, I want it to be done, so it should just be done.
Beat them now.
Yeah.
I know.
So it is a contrast between their characters. Is that Robert Pattinson is a cultivator. Robert Pattinson is I'm going to take this, I'm going to build it, I'm going to cherish it, I'm going to work with it. And August is just a commander.
Right.
And that's the difference in
their
character.
Well, he wants it now. Because it's just money, that's all it is.
Yeah, and that's how
as ruthless as he can.
Leaves August for Robert Pattinson.
Why was she with him?
Because, I can understand it. He has that charm. So. He has, if when she first met him, he was very charming and giving and loving, that would be why she's in the relationship now, that he only turned sour after he had that hold, and that happens a fucking ton.
Right.
So, I understand. Because Christoph Waltz can be extremely charming if he tries to be, and August, there are some scenes where it's like he seems like a nice guy, and underneath it is this, terrible human being, and you don't see it till it's too late. Mm-hmm. You don't see it till you're already in.
Right. I don't know. This movie is pretty sad. Like, it's a very serious, very sad movie.
Don't let the clowns distract you.
Don't let the clowns distract you. It's definitely more of a drama than a romance.
Oh, yeah.
It is definitely...
Yeah. Well, because some of the shit's heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything to do with animals being hurt.
I don't care the stabbing of the elephant. I don't like it.
Yes.
And that's not how you do.
Mm-hmm. And that scene where he's trying to, like, help her get better.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway. In the book, I sobbed. Like, hardcore. I remember I had to put it down for a minute because I was just...
Like, emotionally...
Right. Well, because it kept describing her as bellowing, and I was like, oh my
God.
Like, I can't.
It's like my baby. No. Elephants are dear, sweet animals. Elephants are... they are too sweet for this world. They don't deserve half the shit they
Eat a
get.
full elephant cinnamon roll. It's too sweet for this world.
Elephants are good animals. They are sweet.
Most animals are,
Like,
man. Like
most animals. There are some that are assholes. Hello, chihuahuas.
Oh my fucking god.
Specifically call it out.
Call out to chihuahuas. Fuck all y'all.
Steve Irwin would have words.
Steve Irwin. No, it's a nice thing. No,
Anyway.
even Steve Irwin probably had problems with chihuahuas. I'm just saying.
You could cuddle a
no.
crocodile before he'd cuddle a chihuahua.
I'd cuddle a crocodile before I'd cuddle a chihuahua.
God. Anyway.
I didn't know she hated chihuahuas.
I don't
Till
trust
today.
them. There.
Maggie is half
Maggie is a
Chihuahua.
Chiweenie. She is half Dachshund, and Dachshunds are the best dogs in the world.
So therefore, when you breed an angel with Satan,
it negates the Chihuahua
Oh
nature
my god!
because it added in the best dog in the history of the world.
She's still going over there.
Dachshunds are
Any
the best.
personality of a dog can be an asshole.
This
Any
is
dog
true.
can be an asshole.
You
It's not
can't-
just
you
Chihuahuas.
can't. It is. I mean, I've known some asshole Dachshunds too.
But
You
most
are
chihuahuas.
profiling the Chihuahuas. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, why are we talking about Chihuahuas?
She just randomly hated on chihuahuas. Jeanette does that sometimes. She just randomly call out.
By the way,
Here's how I fucking feel. Fuck you and fuck your dog.
Well, she did that with Kate
my
Hudson a few
God.
weeks back. Remember that shit?
look, I'm
Kate Hudson?
sorry.
Remember she was like, she can't act with a
No,
shit.
she can act. I'm saying
She can't cry. Remember, she just...
Woo! All right. Okay.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress.
Back
okay,
to the
okay.
movie
Back
at
to
hand.
Water for Elephants. Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson is such a fucking talent. Okay, I've seen this man in 10 movies at this point, and he's good.
Well, that's what,
okay?
that's what makes me so mad about the Batman thing. I fully have faith in him. I have
You know
complete
what I
faith
really
in
hope?
him.
I
He can
really
be a
hope
good
Batman.
Batman.
that he does so well that people shut up about Twilight.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
That's what I really hope for him as
Well,
an actor.
like,
'Cause
fingers
that's the
crossed.
worst
Here's what
thing,
it is.
man.
Okay. We got Chris Evans going from being Johnny Storm to being Captain America. Okay? We have Ryan Reynolds going from being Green Lantern to being fucking Deadpool. We got Ben Affleck going from Daredevil to being Batman. I think this is another one of those times. I think Robert Pattinson is going to be amazing as Batman.
I don't remember
think
Robert
he's
Pattinson
going
being a
to.
superhero before.
I mean,
this.
I'm gonna say Edward was a version of a superhero. Like,
I
okay,
mean, he kind of was.
he has
Okay.
superpowers. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he can read minds.
I'm gonna say.
Uh-huh.
So
super fast, super strong, super
Robert
perfect.
Pattinson can be a really good
No.
actor.
Right.
I have seen him do amazing work, and I think that
Twilight is not fair.
yeah.
It's not fair
And
to
honestly,
say.
it didn't deserve all the hate it got. It was not good, but it did not deserve. It's too easy to hate things. It's too easy to jump on the hate bandwagon.
Okay, have
people
you
that
watched
hate
them
Nickelback, all of
since
this, like,
then?
I,
They're all
I
on
know
Hulu.
they're genuinely not great, but
I mean,
the
they're
soundtrack is good, and
Yes.
some of the acting is okay, and
Some.
some of it's okay. I have a thing for Billy Burke.
Yes, Billy Burke.
Billy Burke.
Chief Swan, super good.
Yeah. So it's not the worst thing in the history of the world. And people like the Razzies, just here's all the fucking Razzies because we hate you now. They didn't deserve all those Razzies.
Okay,
Like-
that fucking Sherlock Holmes movie y'all fucking took me to go see.
Right. We were super tired.
They took every fucking
Oh yeah.
Razzie they could. And then you're gonna say that. I think
I'm just
not.
saying
that
the
movie,
Razzies need to not rag on one fucking movie. They need to be honest. They
Well,
need to
okay,
be like,
no,
okay.
people do that though. People pick something and decide that they either vehemently love or hate
Mhm.
it. May I remind you that a certain franchise called Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, won all 11
Yes.
Oscars for which it was nominated.
yeah.
Okay? Everybody was like, it was the finale. The second one won 2 Oscars. 2. The last one won 11. Because
Well-
you finished off the series, and everybody was like, "Yes,
It was
here's
also
what I
a good
feel
movie.
about the entire
Like,
franchise."
the Lord
Not
of the
just
Rings,
this movie,
like-
though. You see what I'm saying?
Return of the King is really fucking good.
But what I'm saying
Goddamn
is,
Aragorn comes back and he is king.
what
now.
I'm saying
It is
is,
good. Okay.
people launch onto
Like,
something and they
I
go, "Let me
know.
just utterly love or
Let's just-
utterly hate this," and I think they did that.
I do. And again, Robert Pattinson does not deserve the hate. Robert Pattinson, I've seen him in so many movies, and each time he's solid. He is a solid actor.
Right.
Like, Kristen Stewart, no, I've seen her in a bunch of stuff that she's just kind
You
of...
didn't love Zathura.
I liked her in The Runaways because that was a character I hadn't seen her as before. Runaways. But everything else, she's just kind of been Kristen Stewart. And there was that awful Woody Allen film she was in.
Right.
Well, I mean,
oh,
Woody
for
Allen.
fuck's sake,
Well,
I hate Woody Allen.
I've got opinions on Woody Allen.
Oh God.
Well, we've already talked.
We talked about it with Blue Jackson.
Yeah. No, like Kristen Stewart, I do think she is beautiful. I think she was great on Saturday Night Live. I think she needs better roles.
But the people don't deserve the hate that they get when half of the shit's not even their choice.
She was perfect as Bella. She did the absolute best that she fucking could with that role. Like, I don't think that Bella is a character that anybody could really pull off. I just don't think so. I think that Bella...
Tell you what we're not gonna do. Is keep talking about Twilight.
I think Kristen Stewart
we're
did fine
supposed
in
to be
those movies.
talking.
I
don't think so, Jeanette.
I think she did.
Bella sucks, but...
Bella sucks, and I think Kristen Stewart didn't have much to work with.
So speaking of water under the bridge, how about Water for Elephants? Am I right?
I'm just saying
movie with elephants in it?
It's really
Let's talk
hard
about the
to
elephant
judge
in the
the
room,
actors
man.
when the script is one... Kind of like Game of Thrones. I don't... Okay, the end of Game of Thrones, season 8...
No,
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I am going to say the actors did fucking phenomenal.
Right.
The actors are beautiful. We had the best cast we could ever have.
It's not fair to shit on production not production, but like the writing that's bad and blame the actors.
It's not the actors' fault. The actors.
So if you're not going to do that with Game of Thrones, why are you doing that to Robert Pattinson?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. It's not the actors' fault. Not in this case. There are times when it's like, you're a piece of shit. Why are you here? Like, it's very rare, though. Most of the time, actors do their jobs.
Right.
And I think it's unfair to hate on them.
I mean, unless you're January Jones. But that's another...
Now is the winter of our discontent, and her name is January Jones.
I love her name, though. Her name is beautiful.
That's alliteration.
Anyway. She was okay in X-Men. She wasn't great. But
what was that movie?
She played Emma Frost.
Liam Neeson movie.
That was taken 3.
No. It was a totally different franchise.
Unknown.
The one where he didn't know who he was, and they were like in a painting gallery.
That's called Unknown.
That one. Yeah. Mr. Ewan Owen. No.
All I remember was them being next to the Berlin Wall.
It could have been. It could have been really good.
Brandenburg tour.
It could have been.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I think that
Water for Elephants is really good. Like
he does well. And
he does really fucking well. And it's gonna be a great fucking Batman. So get off him.
He's going to be amazing. Okay, he's got that.
Can we talk about Reese Witherspoon specifically for a second?
If you would like
just
to.
as an actress, you know,
I
just
think
like
she's
Sweet
great.
Home Alabama, and not just like Legally Blonde, but like her as a person.
I think she is talented. I think she is beautiful. I think she is smart.
Yeah,
she's a real.
And I really like her in that role too.
Really
I think
well.
that she's pretty much character was spot on from the books. Like she was pretty much exactly what I pictured. So I thought that was crazy. That normally doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Normally it's like, did you put your name in the goblet of fire, Harry?
First of all,
I love the line from the book.
Damn you.
It's like Harry. Dumbledore said calmly.
Yeah.
They underline
Honestly,
it, they circle it, they put it in highlight.
It's not Michael Gammon's fault either. It's
See, you can't. That's another thing. You cannot be mad at him. That was not probably his choice.
Director's choice.
Right. The director was like, give it a little fire. Why don't you, Dumbledore?
Oh, because it's the goblet.
It's the goblet.
I see what you did there.
Richard Harris would have been so nice in that.
I fucking love
I wish Richard Harris.
And also Jamie Harris is really good too.
Yes.
I love Jamie Harris.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. I'm done talking about Robert Pattinson now. I just love him so much. And you guys should love him too.
If you guys have not seen Bellamy, oh my god.
If Batman comes out shit, I will be so sad. Because I'm not a big fan of DC anyway.
Oh.
So, I mean, Robert Pattinson is the only reason I'm even going to go see this. Really.
I really like Batman.
Wonder Woman was really good though.
We've had like 7 Batman at this point. I enjoy all the Batman. Even,
you know how I do?
Even Batman. The Val Kilmer Batman, okay?
No, well, you're into Val Kilmer though. I am Top Secret. Kilmer. The point is,
I like Batman as a character. I like him. I like
Lego
he's got
Batman.
a good heart deep inside.
Michael
he's got
Keaton.
that asshole facade.
Val Kilmer.
He's kind of like Tony Stark. honestly, personality-wise.
Oh,
Except that where
what
Tony
a
Stark...
rich, smart
I
asshole.
thought you meant the rich,
Tony-
smart asshole who has all the
he's-
gadgetry.
He's
That's how he's
introverted
superhero.
Tony. That's what it is. Tony is an
It's not
extrovert. Tony is very much, I'm
just-
fucking Iron Man, eat a whole
Not do
bag.
that.
And Batman is very much like, no, I'm going to stay in the
Okay.
shadows. I'm going to be, subtle over here. But he does have that good heart underneath. He's a good man deep down here. And, he cares about the right things. And he wants the right things. And he's a good
defending
character.
immorality.
I like Batman. I
Gotcha.
like Batman as a character. I think Robert Pattinson's going to do great. I would put money on it. I would.
I'm just
$5
worried because
The
it
film
is
be
DC.
fine. The movie might not be.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm worried about is that
The movie.
I'm gonna get hyped and I'm gonna love him, but then the movie's
Yeah.
gonna be shit, so then I'm gonna be sad.
The problem is everything. It's a combined effort of everything. It's the cinematography, the filming, the directing.
Yeah, but the director has
writing,
the final
acting.
call, so we blame the director.
It is, yeah, but it is definitely it's a collaborative medium, and you have to understand that all of these different factors come into play, and I think he's going to do great. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm definitely excited.
I believe in Robert Pattinson.
Thank you.
I believe. Yeah.
Yep. Because remember when he was Cedric Diggory? I believed that.
He's good. At
I
Cedric
really
Diggory.
liked him.
The moment
as
that he
Cedric
died.
Diggory.
You
I
know,
really
I
liked
believe-
Cedric Diggory.
After he died, he came back as a ghost. Guess who was super upset about that?
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Who's dumb?
Well, I remember
Way.
crying in the book. I didn't want that death.
She cried in theaters.
I was very sad.
Okay, it's not necessarily. I knew he was hot then, but I wasn't sad because of his death. It was Amos Diggory
Yeah.
crying over his dead body that gets me every fucking time. I can't.
Yeah.
His scream is just so haunting and real and
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. Well, in long story short, you do need to watch Water for Elephants. It is
Yeah.
a solid drama. It is very
Yes. And it's a good romance and it's good nostalgia
yeah.
and the set's really good. All the circusy stuff, all the costuming's good. I can't remember the music. I'm pretty sure it was just a bunch of clarinet, which I really like. But I can't remember exactly.
It's a bunch of clarinet.
No, I'm pretty sure that's
all
what
it
I remember
was.
is the clarinet.
Squidward Tentacles was just doing the whole thing. Just in the background, just like...
No, well, when you think 20s, you think
Yeah,
clarinet,
you think
like
maybe a little bit
jazzy.
ragtime.
Ragtime.
I think clarinet.
1890s.
I think
Ragtime was
clarinet.
invented. But that's
Well, Ragtime was a little before that
what
time.
I'm saying, 1890s.
Oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
Okay.
The Entertainer,
All right.
but...
Thank you for watching. Go and watch Water for Elephants and tell us if you like Robert Pattinson or not, because I'm not going to listen to you, so I don't know why I asked you that question,
might
because I
as
don't
well
give a
say
shit
yes.
about your opinion, because he's wonderful. So, I don't know why I asked you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what Daphne believes about Robert Pattinson. Pretty sure she is opinionated.
I believe in Robert Pattinson. I think
believe
he's going to give us the best
power
he
of Robert
can.
Pattinson.
I believe. I'm so excited about Batman. Like, you guys don't even know.
Batman?
Pat his little face.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god! Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Pattinson.
Pat his little face joke. Oh my
You're gonna
god.
pat his little face?
Okay.
I believe in the Batten Man.
Batman.
I'm
Fuck's sake.
excited, okay?
So far, the only good memes that I've seen is, that he's a bad vampire because it took him 11 years to turn into a bat.
yeah.
That's a good quality fucking joke. But also, he's more than just Twilight. I don't think she heard that
That
one.
might be the greatest joke I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Okay.
I can't believe you
Yeah.
didn't hear that one.
We
Okay.
have, we
I
have
don't-
solid
I don't
opinions
stalk
when it comes
Robert
to
Pattinson. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here next week. It's
It's still June.
whose turn? Your
After
turn?
you, it's me. Yeah.
Yep.
Your turn.
My turn.
Yes.
My
I lose
turn.
count.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did
Anyway,
Fish Called
it'll be
Wanda.
her turn. I don't know
did
what
Water
you're
for
doing.
It has to
It'll
be
good.
animal related because I did Fish Called Wanda. She did Water for Elephants.
It does have to be animal related. Give me a second.
Please don't do Jumanji or Lion King. Please don't.
I'll think about it.
Oh,
I'll come up with a
God.
good one.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Well, wait, even
Justin checks in.
more. No, even more. Mine was a fish. Hers was water. You have to do an animal-themed water movie.
We're going to talk about the shape
Oh
of
my
water.
god. Bye! Fuck's sake.
Okay.
Bye!